Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Carl Barkley, founder of D3 Direct, and today we're walking through something fun that a lot of recruits have asked for, which is how to effectively reach out to college coaches. Now, if you want to play your sport in college, this is something you're going to have to learn how to do. It's not super hard, and once you do it well one time, you can modify the template to reach out to other coaches. So we're going to show you how to do that today, and really just write the perfect email to send out to college coaches to start your recruiting process. Just as a heads up, this is a preview of a module that's going to exist within our do it yourself recruiting course, as the header shows here. Um, we're trying to build a solution that takes the recruiting process and puts the recruit in the driver's seat. You don't have to reach out to a coach, a one-on-one recruiting consultant. You don't have to be stressed about having to start from absolutely zero. We have, for the last 5 years, been talking with coaches, former D3 athletes. I was a former D3 athlete. I played basketball at Swarthmore College, and we're taking all those insights and we're putting it into this course so you don't have to start from zero in your own recruiting process. If you want to learn more about that, you can always check out our website, d3-direct.com. There's a wait list for the product and more info. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to go over an email template. So this is, again, initial outreach to coaches. In future modules, there's going to be, how to follow up if you're not getting responses, which is something that unfortunately happens. Coaches are busy; they have real lives, and so there's, a separate type of email, separate type of correspondence to send then. But today, we're going to talk about initial outreach. So this is an example email we drafted for a previous client. We have some commentary as well. We got a D3 head coach to read through this and provide their insight. And, it's just one example. It's not something that you have to copy just to get an offer. But if you want to make it a little shorter, if you want to make it a little longer, that's on you. You got to do what feels right for your process. And then last but not least, this is just an example for a basketball recruit. So make some minor adjustments if that's not your sport. All right, so starting out, here we go. We have the header or the subject line. So with the subject, obviously you're going to want to put your last name and your first name in there so the coach knows who is reaching out. That's always important. Some other critical information to have, definitely your class year. Coaches want to know very quickly, okay, is this a 2026? Are they going to be recruiting you right now, or are you further down the road and someone they need to just kind of put in their database? Again, for basketball, position, height, weight, and then your unweighted GPA. When we talk to D3 head coaches, they don't really want to see weighted GPA. That's great. It means you have some rigor in your curriculum. Maybe you're taking an AP or an IB, but when you give them a headline number of your GPA, they want to see unweighted. So here we just have 3 out of 4 as a starting point. So that, again, all goes in your subject line so that the coach can quickly see, who is this person? Should I be recruiting them? And then you can go from there. So yeah, start out your email, hi coach, and then the last name of the coach. If you want to send to multiple people on the staff, you can. I think the critical thing here is that you double check that you're sending to the right coach. Um, a lot of times kids get in trouble because they are trying to do things quickly. They use one template to send out emails to coaches, and they forget to change the name when they update the school information. So they'll send the wrong name to a coach when they're actually trying to reach out to someone else, which is the easiest way for a coach to ignore your email. So again, remember to double check that when you are sending it out. Let's just check in because before we get into paragraph 1, we have some insights from a D3 coach. So they said paragraph 1 is just an introduction. You're going to want to make a key point. And again, something that's listed as a common mistake when we talk to coaches is misspelling the coach's name, or here's another good one, misspelling the college or calling it a university when it's actually a college, or vice versa. So all of these things just indicate to the coach, when you've done them correctly, that you've done your research and that you're really serious about the opportunity that a specific school provides. They don't want to be part of a form email. And so again, this is directly from a D3 head coach, something they've seen before, common mistake that you can avoid. All right, so let's get back to paragraph 1. So in this one, you're introducing yourself. This person was a combo guard for basketball. They have their class. You're going to put your high school in. And in this template, anything that is fillable is going to be in red font, just so you're aware. You can list your town, where you're from. And then from the start, just make it clear why you're writing. I'm writing because I'm interested in attending your school, name of school, and becoming a member of the basketball team in the following year. So I think it's important in this early stage to be very direct. You've already provided some good information up top, but don't beat around the bush. Make it exactly clear why you are reaching out to them. So then we get into the next paragraph. Part of this, again, in the subject line, you're trying to make it clear why they're, or who you are as a recruit. Now, when you get into the body of this email, you really want to make it clear why they should be recruiting you or why they're going to be interested. So give a starting point about your team performance. So last season, I helped my team to a so-and-so record, and then list some kind of team accomplishment. I think it's important. Coaches, they want to know that you're not a me first player. And I think starting out with a team accomplishment is a great way to ground that perception in their mind as they go through the rest of your email. So on the court, you can talk about your own statistics. Again, if you play a different sport, if you play football, you can talk about your number of catches and yards or tackles. If you play soccer, assists, goals, if you're the goalie, saves, whatever it is. And then you can talk about your role in the team. So in this situation, the person was balancing a leadership role in the JV team. And then last but not least, a goal to apply to your team performance. So again, let's ground you as a team player in the coach's eyes as they go through the rest of this email. So here, the goal of the season is to build off the progress of last season and win a conference championship. Great goal. Let's zoom out. We'll check in what the coaches said here. So again, backing this up, long one here. Paragraph 2 and 3 should include prior year team record, individual stats. Outside of that, one thing to include to separate you from other prospects of your age, try to show coaches and not tell them. Saying I'm a hard worker isn't much these days because coaches, if you're going to play in college, they're assuming the baseline is that everyone is a hard worker. Here, show them by saying, you got most improved in the weight room. You were voted captain of the team. Let's see, describing yourself outside of the team and individual stats. Ask yourself if what you're describing is uncommon. If it's common, it's okay to admit. And this coach said short emails are always preferred. Coaches are busy. They don't have a ton of time. And, if you can keep it brief, do so. All right, let's zoom back in here. So into paragraph 3 here. On a personal level, I want to continue to build my skill development and athleticism this offseason. You're showing them here that you are forward thinking, that you have goals. You're not like happy with where you are, and you want to keep getting better and take that growth mindset into their program. We wrote high level overview of your plan to get better. You can keep it really short, talk about a couple things you want to do. And then, this person, they were running on the track to regularly stay in shape. And then they talked about their ranking in the state that they're from. So, do you need to be ranked? Do you have to put that in there? No, absolutely not. A lot of D3 players are not ranked. A lot of college players are not ranked generally. It's just something that was specific for this person's situation. So just to review, we've put a subject line that is dense with information, but very succinct with each category. The correct coach's name, the correct school, a little background about yourself, your team performance, your individual performance. And now we're going to get into, we already talked about being direct in this first line up here saying why you're applying. Very important. Now let's get into the action that a coach can take. So when convenient, I would love to have a 30-minute call to find out more about name of school. Again, make sure to update that so it's correct. I personally believe it's a great fit where I could contribute while developing as a player and a person. Um, that is, I think, an important thing always to phrase. Coaches want to know that you're serious about going to their school. But again, as we talked about earlier, you need to show them, not just tell them. So that's what this next sentence is all about. I read that your school has a strong insert academic area that you're interested in, and I'm excited to hear more about it. I think this is a key one. Coaches want to see that you've done your research. If you're really interested in engineering and you're reaching out to like a small liberal arts school that does not have engineering, they're going to quickly mark you off their list because what you're describing isn't actually offered by that school. So important to remember there. Um, you can also do that by saying, the style of your play kind of matches with what I offer as a player, and give an example. That's an important thing to finish with, is clear example of how. And then in this last paragraph, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And then kind of the key element that any good first email to coaches should have is all of this information at the bottom. Below, I've attached my contact information, Huddle profile link, wherever you have yours, could be on YouTube, GPA, and current year's class schedule. So you're going to sign it. Again, same information that was in the subject line. And then here are all your links at the bottom. Make sure they are working. Make sure they take the coach to where you want them to be taking them to. Have your phone number, email, again, Huddle, YouTube, could be whatever. And your Twitter profile if you're doing recruiting through Twitter. And the goal here, again, as we mentioned, D3 coaches are busy. They have full lives. We talked to one the other day who said they're getting 100 emails a day. And maybe that's an outlier case, but what it says is that you need to be concise. You need to be complete in the information that you're sharing so that when they get this email and they go through the links at the bottom, they have everything they need and it's easy to recruit you. I think that is the key. If we could sum it up into what this email should accomplish, is make it easy for the coaches to understand who you are and make it easy for them to evaluate you and recruit ultimately, because that's your goal. So that's the overview here. Let's check in on the last coaching notes. So on paragraph 4, just to review, again, you have the request for a 30-minute phone call to learn more. They can learn way more about you by talking to you on the phone than they can in an email. And also, this coach indicated that taking the initiative really matters. That's a big sign for them. Scheduling the call, all of these things to show where you have them on your priority list at the moment. And again, as we talked about, do research on the college, make sure that what they offer actually excites you, and then talk about that. Last paragraph, thank them for their time. And again, ask them for, or attach all up-to-date contact info, links, GPA. And they cited the importance of showing a coach your academic rigor to ensure that they can get you into their school, that you're a serious candidate for admission. So that's all we got. This is a preview again for our recruiting course, where we are trying to give control back to the D3 recruits, to the prospective college athletes and their families that are going through this process. So check it out on our website. We have a wait list right now. The real thing will be dropping soon, and you can expect more content like this to be available. And yeah, if you have another topic that you want us to cover next, just let us know, and we'd be happy to do another video like this or get it included in the course. So just reach out, and we'll see you next time.